Parts out of ash where the dead golden wound cling or pulses beneath crumb, now the festering eye. The spider's greatsword riddles thrums, slick with corrupted dew, humming a dissonant dirge. The core flickers light that devours, that spits out ash where the dead cling or crumble. Now the vacuous spider's riddles coalesce. Then eye movement. This is not a cling or dual crumble. Funeral for now the mortal who vacuous ascended 2 spiders far. Rom the vacuous spider's Byrgenwerth's pawn, now a shattered lesser great one drowns in the Erdtree's core. His riddles are not madness. They are a cipher, a scholar's final indictment of the golden rot. The Erdtree's curse feeds on order, Rom's idiot logic. A scalpel to its hollow heart, he speaks in paradox to unmake the lie of eternity. Rom was not born a god, but made one by scholars who feared what he saw. Byrgenwerth's highest minds crafted him into a lesser shade of divinity, a mortal ascended to mirror the Great One's grief. His hollow logic, his babbling of vacuous truths, was a cipher for those who dared listen. He spoke of a tree that fed not on light, but on the hollowing of hearts. Exiled by Byrgenwerth scholars who called his vision heresy, Rom wandered the fog's edge, a bridge between mortal and cosmic sorrow. The Great Ones weep for children they cannot bear. Rom weeps for the children the tree devours. His laughter was not madness, but a mirror held to eternity's lie. He knew the Erdtree's roots were threads of stolen life, spun into a crown of thorns. The scholars called him a joke, a spider spinning nothing. But what is a tree without its roots? A parasite feasting on the dead. Rom's so-called nonsense was a blueprint for unmaking. His final act was not rebellion, but revelation. He became the question the tree could not answer. What dies first, the god or the lie? The pale blood moon hung low. Rom's veil split like a wound. The Erdtree's roots coiled around the Elden ring like a parasite. They called him mad. He spoke in riddles. Great Ones, yes, but feared his riddles are the truth language of those who see too much. Great Ones, yes, but feared his riddles are the truth. The tree was never a savior. It was a thief. A hollow crown feeding on the life it pretended to give. Rom's exile was not punishment, it was erasure. The core became his prison, his warnings strung into nonsense by those who refused to listen. Yet in his whispers there is order, the spider's thread maps the rot. To break the curse one must first unmake the lie that the Erdtree is whole. Who is the fool? The one who builds on a grave, or the one who warns of it? The tree trembles when Rom speaks. Not from fear, from memory. It remembers what Rom saw, a vessel planted in Placidusac's age, blooming with stolen light. The curse cannot be severed, it must be revealed, and the key hangs in the core, spun from grief and gritted teeth. Rom's logic is no idiot's ramble, it is the shape of the truth. The tree is not a god. It is a wound, still bleeding, still hungry, who will listen now, before the moon rises again. Ash from the kiln falls as snow, gears of the astral clock tower grind slow. Golden haze clings to stone like a festering bomb. The arena is no battlefield, it is a psalm, a hymn to collapse. The Erdtree's roots writhe beneath cracked marble, its core a pulsing void where the Elden ring's light curdles into rot. This place was built after Placidusac's reign, a monument to a covenant that could not hold. Rom treads here, his words a jester's cipher, nonsense or the only truth the tree fears. The vacuous spider spins not in shadows, but in sight highs riddles the skeleton key to a kingdom of lies. The Erdtree thrives on order, on the illusion of grace, but grace is a scalpel, and this tree is a festering wound. Still bleeding, still hungry, the gears will stall, the ash will smother. What remains when the moon's eye opens again? A throne for the unmade, a crown for the voice that dares to parse the fool's tongue. The throne of the unmade trembles as Rom's tongue weaves its first unraveling. His words are a mirror cracked against the Erdtree's rot. Asterisk, I am not a great one, I am a wound in the Elden ring. Asterisk, syntax fractures like branches under a starless sky. A dance, yes, a spider's parody of divinity, limbs carving constellations into chaos. What is coherence but a cage? What is truth but a lie polished to a lesser madness? He speaks in parables of a crown that bleeds its gold into ash. Asterisk, the gods are not gods. They are the scars left by other gods. Asterisk, a rhythm, thysach syllable, a stone cast into the tree's hollow heart. The Erdtree thrives on compromise, on the pact that poisons the pact-maker. Rom the Vacuous spills his mind like a flood to drown such bargains. His madness is the cipher, his nonsense the key. What if insight is merely madness trained in the grammar of the cursed? The tree's roots drink from the same well as the great once corruption distilled. Rom's dance a counterpoint, a broken syntax that outpaces the rot, not a prophet, not a fool. A voice that speaks the tree's end in its own tongue. The throne waits, the crown waits. And the spider's song in its fractured beauty begins to unmake the silence. The mask fractures, golden light bleeds to a wrought green, roots writhe through Rom's chest, burrowing, feeding. His laughter echoes, but it is not his. 1,000 voices whisper in his throat, the Erdtree's victims, the Erdtree's chorus. You thought his ramblings madness, they are a cipher. Every jabbered riddle a splintered truth, the great ones hollowed, their flesh a bridge for the tree's hunger. The Erdtree does not rule, it consumes, it selects. Omens of death are not honored, they are harvested, the rest. Left to rot in the dark, Rom's face twists, not a mask now, but a window. You see the parasite's logic, divinity is always a wound, a festering compromise, the tree does not crown kings. It grafts them to its bark, twists their will to its own. The arena trembles, the roots writhe deeper. His final words are not a taunt but a warning, a chorus of the damned, listen. The curse unravels in the gaps between the words, the tree fears the truth, and so must you. Rom's form dissolves into liquid gold. The fragments coalesce, revealing the Erdtree's heart a festering chasm where light and rot collide. His voice, fractured yet eternal, whispers the truth. Asterisk the tree eats its children. Asterisk the core convulses. Marika's shattered ring bleeds outward, its shards stitching the wound as the arena implodes. Ash rains, silence follows. Only the greatsword remains, its edge dulled by centuries of carnage. What does the tree fear? A name, a pause. A mind that dares unweave its lies. Rom's madness was a mirror, reflecting the tree's hunger. When Godwin's soul was torn, Marika's blade cleaved the ring not to save, but to sustain. The tree's pulse slowed, the rot deepened. In some tales, fire consumes it. In others, it stands bloated on stolen lives. A paradox, a wound that refuses to heal. The scent of decay lingers where Rom fell. A key lies buried in his jests. Asterisk the tree is the wound. The tree is the lie, asterisk the cosmos holds its breath, the Erdtree burns, the Erdtree waits. And somewhere a fool's laughter echoes a riddle without an answer, a door left ajar. 247 words. Rom's death whispers the truth the Erdtree cannot unmake, its parasitism is eternal. His so-called idiot logic, the only voice unchoked by the Great One's rot. They built their divinity on decay, and it devours them. The tarnished must end what Rom could note a cycle without end. The hunter, no king, no saint, only an outsider thrust into the dying order's last gambit. Marika's benediction was never grace, it was a chain, break it. The vacuous spider's web fractures, revealing the tree's hollow heart. The fool's laughter echoes not as riddle, but as reckoning, the door left ajar, a threshold. The Erdtree waits, but waits no longer. And the tarnished, bearing the weight of 1,000 failed messiahs, must choose, to rot or to burn. 171 words. Rom's madness echoes in the hunter's role. Both are outsiders given purpose by dying orders. His greatsword mirrors the death's poker, weapons of those who defy cosmic hierarchies. The great ones of Bloodborne grieve and seek children. The Erdtree's knights rot and bear burdens. No canon binds these worlds, yet their wounds ache in tandem. What if the hunter's nightmares hold the key to the tarnished chains? Rom's ramblings nonsensical, yet precise carve a path through the Erdtree's illusion. Each swing of his greatsword a blunt tool against divine order mirrors the hunter's desperate thrusts in Iharnam's alleys. Both wielders are outliers cursed to fight what cannot be fought. The line between lunacy and clarity blurs, the hunters. Rom's form dissolves into liquid gold. The fragments coalesce, revealing the Erdtree's heart a festering chasm where light and rot collide. His voice, fractured yet eternal, whispers the truth. Asterisk the tree eats its children. Asterisk the core convulses. Marika's shattered ring bleeds outward, its shards stitching the wound as the arena implodes. Ash rains, silence follows. Only the greatsword remains, its edge dulled by centuries of carnage. What does the tree fear? A name, a pause. A mind that dares unweave its lies. Ram's madness was a mirror, reflecting the tree's hunger. When Godwin's soul was torn, Marika's blade cleaved the ring not to save, but to sustain. The tree's pulse slowed, the rot deepened. In some tales, fire consumes it. In others, it stands bloated on stolen lives. A paradox, a wound that refuses to heal. The scent of decay lingers where Ram fell. A key lies buried in his jests. Asterisk, the tree is the wound. The tree is the lie. Asterisk, the cosmos holds its breath. The Erdtree burns, the Erdtree waits. And somewhere a fool's laughter echoes a riddle without an answer, a door left ajar. Marika's fracture birthed the Erdtree's thorns. Godwin's soul murder shattered the ring. What if Ram's laughter is not madness but a cipher? His words twist like roots, each idiot rhyme a blade against the tree's rot. The Godwin's soul looms.